Ephesians chapter 2 says, remember that at that time you were separate from Christ, the Messiah, excluded from citizenship in Israel. Excluded, meaning they're not allowed to be part of Israel. And foreigners or Gentiles to the covenants of the promise. Covenants with an S, by the way. Without hope and without God in the world. But now in Yeshua the Messiah, you who were once far away have been brought near through the blood of Christ. So you hear what's happening here is, first of all, he says that you once were far off. You were not allowed to be a citizen of Israel. You could not even be part of her covenants. Do you realize that the writer of Ephesians is putting value in the covenants of promise? Because he's saying that you were not allowed to have this blessing. You were not even allowed to be a part of it. Well, let's keep reading. He says, therefore, going back to Exodus 31, it says, therefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations as a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested and he was refreshed. So think about it this way. First of all, Jeremiah 11 says that Israel is an olive tree. Ephesians 2 says, you who were once far off have now been brought near, and you've been made fellow citizens with the household of God. Romans 11 talks about being grafted in. It says what? There's 2 olive trees, okay? 2 olive trees, and the wild olive tree gets grafted back into the cultivated olive tree, and let's substitute the correct word in Jeremiah 11. It's cultivated back into Israel. So these Gentiles actually are no longer Gentiles. Do you realize, viewer, that the word Gentile means out of covenant? So if you consider yourself a Gentile Christian, what you're really saying is you're an out-of-covenant Christian, and that's an oxymoron. You can't have that. Either you are in covenant and you're part of the Messiah, or you're out of covenant and you will spend eternity away from him. So what we're having here is that Paul is not having a brilliant stroke of genius. He is literally quoting the Old Testament, and he is saying, listen, all of those who were sent to the 4 corners of the earth, you are now allowed to come back home. The Gentiles are allowed to be part of Israel. That's why he says, you are now fellow citizens of Israel. You are Israelite heritage, and you now have access to the covenants. He doesn't say covenant as if there's only one covenant called the New Covenant. Middle Eastern covenants layer on one another. In Greek, in our Western Christian mindset, we think old is done away, new is new. We cannot combine the two. We don't understand how Middle Eastern covenants work. They are transparencies that reveal, they never go away. They simply reveal a bigger part of the picture. This is critical to understand, that you become a citizen of Israel and become subject to her covenants of promise. Ladies and gentlemen, you are Israel. You are not a Baptist, a Methodist. There's no Lutheran line or non-denominational line on Judgment Day at the resurrection. Either there is a line for Israelites, the chosen people, or there's a line for Gentiles, pagans, those that do not know Yeshua as Messiah. It doesn't even matter if you have Jewish blood. Either you are part of Israel, and you believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and you are following Yeshua the Messiah, or you do not, you see. That's why Paul says that it doesn't matter if you're even born a Jew. It matters if you are a Jew in your heart, if you are truly following him through obedience in the Messiah.
Come and join us as we travel back in time 4,000 years ago to discover exactly where the holidays of Christmas, Easter, and even Valentine's Day come from. Why do we celebrate the birth of Jesus on December 25th? Whose birthday really is on December 25th? Where did we come up with December 25th? Where did the star on top of the Christmas tree come from? Where did the Christmas tree itself come from? Where did St. Nicholas come from? Are we sure that St. Nicholas even existed? Have you ever wondered where the famous phrase, ho, 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 comes from? It comes from the late 1600s when they used to have plays, and before the devil would come on stage, he would announce himself by saying, ho, ho, ho. Did you know that original Santa's elves weren't little guys that made toys? They were Krampus demons that would punish the children if they weren't good for that year, while St. Nicholas would give them gifts if they were good. Who is the Easter Bunny? Where did we get Easter eggs from? Why do we celebrate Easter on the first Sunday after the vernal equinox? Did you know that Christmas was illegal in the United States until the mid-1800s? Can we celebrate these holidays according to the Bible? This is by far the most popular video on the internet on the history of Christmas and Easter. This video has changed hundreds of thousands of people's lives, and it will change your life too.